Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reedy with Future Pastimes. I'm the designer of The Adventures of Conan, which is a new dice game set in the Conan universe. It's part of a live game found right now, and there's a link to that in the description. One of the recent unlocks is a new character that's added in called Ohala. And Ohala is an interesting character because it's the one character that has an ally side and a foe side. So she can be either an ally or a foe. And in some situations, she may end up being both, switching from one side to the other. So I thought we'd do a little bit of a deep dive on Ohala and talk about her abilities and talk about how she impacts the game. So in a 3 or 4 player game, you can have Ohala starting out as an ally, and she will have the dark green primary dice, the normal general dice that all allies will have. And her ability here is that when you're playing Ohala, you can use warrior and sorcery results interchangeably throughout the main phase. So that means if you wanted to advance on the warrior achievement track while you're in a warrior kingdom, but you didn't roll any warriors, you have a sorcery, she can spend that sorcery. It also means that if she's forming a warrior pool for a fight or for a duel, she can add sorcery to that result, to that pool, and those also count as hits. So she's very formidable in fights and duels and should probably seek them out when you're playing as Ohala. You can also have Ohala playing as a foe in a 2, 3, or 4 player game. She'll have the black primary dice, but you know she has ally dice as her general supply. So that means she has 2 different characters. It still count as characters. So for a plot roll, if she rolled 2 of these and 1 of those, that's 3, which is an automatic failure. But the really interesting thing is, as a foe, especially in the 3 and 4 player game, is that when she's buying her extra dice, she's buying them from the ally's pool. So if she's going before the ally in turn order, she's going to be able to snap up many of those dice. And the price is still foes. So she is 1 gold for the first die, 2 for the second, 3 thereafter. So she's going to be able to afford those dice and have fun with that. The ability on the foe side is that she gains the plot reward whenever she advances on the plot track for any reason. So the plot track has its own phase. In the resource phase, you're going to roll to advance on it. And when you do advance, there are individual rewards broken out by character type. So if she advances on the plot by rolling those symbols, she'll get the foe reward. Now, there are other ways to advance on the plot. In the main phase, a player can spend their character results to advance on the plot phase as an action. And the number of dice they have to spend is equal to the chapter number. So if she's moving up to a space on chapter 2, it would cost 2 character dice to do that. Now, when you move up on the plot track outside of that resource phase, you don't get the rewards normally, but Ohala does. So she would get those rewards and the victory points for moving up. The other way that you might move up on the plot track if you're a foe is if Conan does not attempt an adventure. So if Conan does not get to one of those kingdoms that has an adventure, then foes automatically advance on the plot. And normally foes only get victory points for the chapter number that they move up on. But Ohala, will get the rewards that are associated with that space on the plot track. So a big deal. But the other interesting thing is that, let's say that you've got Ohala as an ally in a 3-player game, so Conan, ally, foe, and you're in Zamora, and she uses the kingdom ability to flip her card. Well, now Conan has 2 foes and no ally, and that can be a big deal as well. So a really interesting take on the character, and will jazz things up in very spicy ways when you have Ohala in there. So excited to see her added to the game. Let me know if you have any other questions about Ohala or anything related to the Adventures of Conan in the comments. That's it for this one, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.